Next question.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Dwayne. I'm with LA Works. We promote volunteering and community service all across here in the city and county of LA. My question is, in order to improve one's mental health and emotional well-being when it comes to this technology, because we're all guilty of it, the doom scrolling, being online all the time, especially of my generation. I'm born of 1996, so I'm millennial Gen Z cusp. I don't know what generation Alpha is gonna go through 10, 20 years down the line, but this is a preview of our future and of our lifetime and our kids' and our grandkids' lifetime. And I think the most important thing when it comes to STEM, plus the performing and the visual arts, is volunteering. I went to a Catholic high school and they said in order to graduate, it is a requirement to volunteer, to do community service. Can you imagine if every public school or every pre-K through 12 school had that mandatory voluntary community service before you get your high school degree? I think we would be in a more decent position as human beings. So I was curious to see, how can we make sure we humanize those elements with those existing technologies? They've existed for what, 10, almost 20 plus years now?
Yeah.
How could that be incorporated within our local communities and regionally?
First of all, I have to say I love that. And my daughter, in her high school to graduate, she also had to do her community service. And as much as she groaned at first about that, I was so thrilled because it was a value that I had tried to instill always in our home, and that every student in the school was encouraged or required to complete community service. I just thought that was the best thing in the world. One of the reasons I went with Full Dome, which is a shared reality, it's a communal experience for the film, and then a mobile app that sends users into the world and to get in touch with nature, was because I wanted to get people out of their living rooms. I love VR, and I play in it all the time, but I have to say, getting people out in the world and becoming activists in their own right and empowering them with tasks to do in the real world, even if it's through a mobile game, that was a big piece of my reasoning to do that, because we needed to lift people up off their couches and out into the world to get active, to do location specific. So connecting them with their local grassroots efforts is a big piece of some of the tasks that we'll be implementing through the game.
Yeah, I like to say VR is a little like the Matrix. Your body may as well be floating in amniotic fluid while you have cords hooked into your nervous system. And of course, you're completely immersed in cyberspace, and all your friends are in there. And AR is a little more like the holodeck, where you bring the cyber reality into the room. But I think both of them have a place. It's like out-of-home cinema and then at-home home theater or home cinema.
I would say there's no replacement for actual real-life physical gathering. There will never be. I say, but VR and AR and immersive experiences are very close second, especially for virtual. So if people can't come together, for one, I've met everyone here in VR. We all met as avatars before I met them in real life, and we've become dear friends in real life. We've had these moments, especially during the pandemic, I'd say, where we would actually have group hugs. That sounds corny, but it was so powerful, and we would philosophize about where these points of consciousness moving through cyberspace, but it's still us, it's still our personalities, and you can still feel someone's energy. Yeah. You can still feel their intentions when you're in there, and it's so fascinating. Bringing people together in that way. I was also, you were touching on, I wanted to mention also there's different apps for mindfulness and meditation, which are very relaxing and calming and give you a sensation of being in nature and listening to very calm, relaxing music that is incredibly relaxing. So again, these immersive experiences, having the visuals all around you and the music, and even if you're in a chaotic environment at home surrounded by traffic or just different kinds of noise, to be able to have moments of mindfulness with this technology is very powerful and calming.
It almost forces you to slow down when you're in an immersive environment. You can't take in information as fast. You're looking around, building a cognitive map of the space. It's very cool.
We actually have to slow down our edits. Like how we actually edit the content that we are filming. Like normally it's, quick cuts and you're gonna see this and that. If you watch a commercial, every second and a half, you're gonna see something new. They wanna just keep your brain activated. But in virtual reality, we realized, especially with 360 and 180 content, that we had to slow down the edits and leave things up there for 7, 8, sometimes 10 seconds before we go to the next edit or the next cut, because you're looking around and you're taking it in, and the side effect of that is that people's attention is actually drawn to the content more, because it's not all these quick cuts which are programming our brains into an ADD state, and we've slowed it down. People are like, oh, I just want to sit here and listen to this person for a while, and I feel so calm coming out of the app. And we've heard these comments from people, and it comes from the fact that we're doing what in Hollywood is called slow edits, and it's frowned down upon. But in virtual reality, you have to do it, and it's actually better for mental health to slow down the way we cut our content. But TikTok requires you to change it every quarter of a second.